Hello everyone. So today we'll see how we can create a simple web page with the help of Flexbox. So basically we're going to just create the top part, like this will be the heading. Just one second, let me share the screen. Okay, so we'll create something like that. This top part will be our heading, and then we'll create this portion. So the top part. So later on we'll create a video to go further on the page, or we can build something like this. Okay, so now today we'll just focus on this top part. Okay, so let's start in the HTML. So before that, I will suggest you, like strongly suggest you, like in the beginning when you are beginner, always try to make the structure on a paper. Okay, so you have the idea what you're going to create. So this is your screen. So on the top here, here, somewhere. So here, this will be our navigation. Okay, inside this, we will have our logo. Okay, so this will be here. This spacing will give the padding to our header. Okay, and then we will have this navigation here on this side. We'll create a navigation, and we will give them the equal padding also. So like from this side inside the header, so they will have the padding. So we'll join this ping to on the top and left everywhere, and then this will be our hero image section. Okay, so where our whole image will go. Okay, and this way you have the idea, like you need a, like this is your body tag, red one, pink one is your navy, like the header tag. You can give it a header and anything you want, and this will be a logo, a div, and navigation, a div, and this will be your image. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we create the HTML structure. So first, let's save this inside a folder. So we'll save it as email. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy a banner. So I have already this banner image. So I'm going to copy it and save it in the folder. Okay, so you can download it from Unsplash or pixabay.com. So they are free. So you just need to attribute them. Okay, so here let's start with HTML, basic HTML, and on the top, we just write the title here, page. Okay. So inside the body tag, let's start with the header. So I will first create a div. Okay, I will name it a header. So today I'm not going to focus on semantic tags. Later on, I will make a video on semantic tags, what they are, why we use them. Today we'll just focus on the structure and design. So div class header. So inside this header, we will have a logo. So I will name it div class logo. Okay, so you can write something telling. And second div to this will be our navigation. Okay, so at this div, what we're going to create, we are going to create a UL tag. So you can also leave this and put the UL, but for the better understanding, I'm creating this. Inside the UL, we have li tag. So hash. So here we'll add some links to different pages. So I'm quickly going to copy this. You can write down anything. Home products, about. Then we have, let's say, testimonial. Okay, so this will be our header. Okay, if you go to the page, so you can see this is our header. Okay, so now what we'll do, we are going to create the next portion for the image. Okay, for the image, we'll just go here and we'll create if class in image. You can name it main image. Inside this image, this will be our like background image. Okay, so I will name it something like BG image, background image. And then the content for the background image. So it will be BG content. Okay, inside this content, now let's say what we have. You can write anything down. So shop with us, some lorem ipsum, and two buttons. So for that, we'll create a H1. So I'll name it shop with us paragraph. I'm just adding the space so you can see it clearly, but it's not compulsory. You can do space. Okay, and then there will be two buttons. Href hash. So the two buttons are shop now and club membership. You can name it anything. Shop now, club. So this is the structure. So now we are going to design it. So first of all, what we're going to do, we are going to create a style file and link it with our page. So in the new, I'll create a style.css file. Okay, and we are going to link it in the head tag. Okay, it always goes in the head tag. So name it style.css, the file name, because it's in the same folder. So don't forget that they should be in the same folder, style and banner and index. Okay. Otherwise, you will have to give the path there to that. And first of all, there is a web page, fonts.google.com. I'm not wrong. So from here, you can see right now the fonts are not looking really nice. So we can get some nice font. So let's click on the Roboto. So I will just get a regular. You can get any of them. So if you see here regular, you can select regular, click on this. So it will generate a link either for the HTML or CSS, but we'll use it for the CSS. So we just need to copy this part. Okay, you can copy this whole and remove the style tag later because we are already in the style sheet. So we'll just remove this. So this is importing. Now we need to apply this. Okay, for now, if you see there is no change. Okay, so we need to apply that also. So for the all the selectors, what we're going to do, all the selector we have star, we select all, and we are going to add the font family. So the font family here, if you go down, here you have the Roboto and sans serif is the like the family. If Roboto is not working, then sans serif will work. Okay, so this is okay. So you see these fonts look nice. And then for all the tag, you see the all the block level element by default they have margin. So if I click here and inspect element, hmm, so if you click here, you see there is an orange line on top and bottom. So this is because all the block level element have the default margin. So what I'm going to do, I will set all the margins to 0. Okay, all the margin will be set to 0. So you see all the margins is removed and we are set to 0 now. So second thing is like if there is any padding, we'll set it to 0 also. Okay. So this will go here. So you see no padding, no margin. So everything will go. Now what we're going to do. So there is a property called box sizing, border box. This is related to the box model. So I will create a separate video and will explain it to you. For now, just understand that this property, what it does, it will keep the height. If you set a block, a width, like let's say width of 400 pixel, and then you add like 10 pixel padding left, right. So the width will become 420. But with this property, the width will remain 400 pixel. So it will adjust in that space. So we'll make a separate video on that property later on. Okay. So now let's start with the top part. So the top, if you see, we have this header, class header. So to the class header, we are going to set, first of all, I'll give it a background color, light yellow. Okay, save it. And now we check here. You can see the color, light yellow. So now we'll align these horizontally. So when we'll make it display flex, so the direct child, which they are logo, and div navigation, they will become horizontal. Okay, because by default they are this. So now we'll set it justify content space between. By default, their flex direction is like here. If you see flex direction, this is by default is a row. Okay, if you don't write it, it will be a row. Okay, so it's fine. And here we go. So you can see the space in between. Secondly, I will add padding from left and right to both. So padding left, like there will be space from left and right. Let's say I will add it in the percentage, 8%, padding right, 8%. Save it. Okay, you can see the space from left and right. Now this thing is done. And one more thing we can do here now. You see, if I give it a height of, let's say, 8 VH, that is viewport height. Okay, you can give it in a pixel, but we want it to be 100 VH. So I give it 8 VH, and the background image I will give 92 VH. So that will be like 8 plus 9200. So you see this is going out, but it will be fixed. Don't worry. Next, to align them center, we use the property with the Flexbox line item center. So that is with the Flexbox. This. Okay. So you see this is now center. Now we'll work on this on UL. So that UL is inside the navigation and we have UL. Now the thing is we need to specify some width for like how much area they are covering. If you see the logo, I give it a background color, pink. Okay. So just to show you how they look like and to the navigation, I give a background color. Red. So what will happen here? So if you refresh, so you see they have only that much space, but we need to give them width so they remain in their area. So I will give it a width of, let's say, 35% to this logo and width of 65% to this navigation. Okay. So here what we'll see now. So you see, this is the width we gave it, 35% and 65%. And it's not showing 35 because I wrote it instead width widows. Okay. So now you see they are equal width. So this space is the padding we have given from left and right. Okay. So that is why there is no space on the left and right because we have given them padding. Now we will make the UL item inside this navigation. We have this UL tag. We are going to create that now. Navigation UL. I want it to take the width 100% of the its parent, which means 65% of it. But first I will show you display X. Okay, so they will become horizontal. Now you can add the property justify content space between. Save it. Check this now. So they are now like this. Now you can style it. Okay. Sometime always remember if your width is it is not grabbing, you can always set the width. Like let's say I set the width here uh 80%. So this width 80% is the 65% of its parent. Like this is 65%, it will take 80% from this. Okay. So if you go, so you see it is inside this, but it is taking less space. but we want it to be take the whole 65%. So we can leave it empty or you can set it to 100%. Okay, now next property is list style type none to remove the dot from the UL. So you can write this. And then we will target the text decoration, the A tag inside this list. Inside this UL, we have the A tag L inside LI. So how are we going to target? Inside ULA, LA, we have text decoration. Save it. So underscore will go on. And the link there in blue, so we'll set the color to black. Save it. Okay, now we'll remove this background color from the navigation, the pink. So, but in the beginning, it's better for you to give it the background color so you know how much space you are moving. Because in the beginning, I was always confused, like where it is going. I give the space that much, but so it will give you the idea. Now we'll add the BG image. So the background image, we have a background image property. So simply you can give it a URL. So I named that file banner.jpg. So make sure your name is correct and the path is correct. So you see, so second thing we need to set the height. So I will set the height. So the if you see here to the navigation header, I gave it 8 VH. So I want now the image to be full. So what I can do, I will give it 92 VH. So it will be full screen. So 8 plus 92, it's 100 VH. Okay. And it is repeating. The image is repeating. So I'll write the property background repeat. No repeat. Save it. So it will not repeat. And then we have the empty space, but we want it to cover. So background size cover. Okay. And also we want to make the image center background position. So the image is in center, background position center. So you see, okay, now what we'll do, we'll make the content like this. So we'll make it position relative and bring it down. Okay, so what we'll do, so I will make it position relative. This is a parent. Oh, sorry, relative. Okay, and now our this here BG content inside the BG image. So BG image position relative BG content, we are going to give it position absolute so that it moves according to that. So I'll give it a position absolute. Okay, and we'll give it a top. From top, I want it to be 50%. Okay. If you want to make it exactly in the center, you can add top left 50%, transform, translate, minus 50%, minus 50%. So this is the property with which you can make it exactly in the center. So now the content, you can also set the width to this. The content, let's say I set to 700 pixel. Like this is contained. Okay. And I will also set the color. It's white, color white. So here we go. Okay, so this is when you want to center, but we want to make it like, bring it like equally here. Okay, so what we can do, we can just keep it top 50%. And now we are making just top. So around the y-axis, we'll make it minus 50%. Save it. So you see, it is in the vertically center, but we from the left, what we'll do, we'll give equal padding that we gave to the padding left, that is 8%. We gave it the same 8% to header. So they are aligned equally. So you see they are aligned here. So now you can play around with the content. So BG content, we have a H1 inside that. So you can set like font size, 50 pixel, text transform, either uppercase or I will make it capitalized. So the first letter is capital, the other is smaller. Okay, so here we have the same. Okay, then the paragraph here. So I will just reduce the width to 600 pixel. See, so again, you see, I always confuse this width and videos, like it automatically comes out 600 pixel like this. Okay, so now inside this BG content, we have a paragraph. So what I will do, I will give it a like line height 1.6. So to add some spacing in between. Okay, and then I will change the font size a little bit bigger. Font size, let's make it 20 pixel. So to make it more readable. Okay, you can increase the width here from 600 to 700 pixel. Okay, and then we can also style the buttons. Okay, so shop now and club member. So they are a tag here inside the BG content. So always make sure the parent class you write, and inside that a tag, what I'm going to do again, text decoration none. So the underline is gone. Color I will set to white. If you see here, the color is now white. Okay, I will add a border around them. Border. So let's say 1 pixel, solid, white. So you see the paragraph and button are very close to each other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give them like margin top 10 pixel to the paragraph, margin bottom 10 pixels. So they have some spacing in between. Okay, so here you see. So now what we'll do, we will make this button like we'll add some padding inside. Top bottom 10 pixel, left right I will make it 18 pixel. So you can play around with this padding, anything looks nice. Okay, so you can see, and I will make the font weight of these buttons a little bit semi bold, I think. Okay, let's make it bold. Okay, so now you see, sometime what happens if we the button a tag is we created here, a tag is inline element. So if sometimes the inline element doesn't take the padding properly, so for that what we'll do, we'll make it inline block, so the padding is applied properly. Okay, sometimes it doesn't take the padding properly. Okay, so that's why now you see it is a little bit lighter. So what we can do, we can make the background like this a little darker. So for that, if you remember, if you have ever seen, we can add the RGB prop. Okay, RGB, oh sorry, linear gradient, and inside this will pass to color RGBA. So 0, 0, 0 is black, and 0.5 is something like its opacity. We are giving it like 0.5. Then we have second color RGBA, if I'm not wrong here. Let's say 0, 0, 0, 0.4. Save it. Go to the page. Yeah. So it will add some background here. Okay, so you see we have this button now and content. So if you want to make it like similar like it, so they have more height over there. So you can increase the height always. You can change it, like make it 10 VH and then make it 90 VH. 10 plus 90, 100 VH. So this should be the page. So this is how you can create a nice page. So there are two buttons. You can make them clickable. You can add a hover effect. Quickly, I will add a hover effect on the button. So I will just copy this. move the properties, and on hover, I want the background color to be black for this button. Okay, now save. So you see, so they are black looks little. Okay, so this is how you can create. And also like you can make margin right to this to the first child, but here we don't have more. So like let's say 10 pixel to the button, and see the space is adding here. So this is a you can create it. Nice. Okay. So this is how you can create a page. Let me know if you have any question. Thank you. So I will